All right, so in this episode, we are going to talk about character retention renovations and how the new City of Vancouver regulations may affect it. Hey everyone, as you know, in the fall of 2023, the City of Vancouver will be voting to amend the zoning and development bylaw. There are going to be a ton of changes, which, if used properly, can definitely benefit homeowners, builders, and developers like you. Now, to help educate the public on this topic, we at Phase 1 have created a series of videos which are going to help you to understand what these changes are and what they mean for your development. Hey everyone, welcome to Dream Homes with Kathy. I'm Kathy Yuen.
I'm Nicholas Petrie.
And welcome to the series. Our team at Phase 1 and I have helped over 700 homeowners design their dream homes over the last 17 years. This channel is dedicated to sharing our knowledge with you. Don't forget to download our resources that are linked down below, which will help you understand a lot of these changes.
Or you can use the link to our consultations. You can book a consultation with one of us and we can help you directly with your property.
Yes, absolutely. Now, with all that being said, let's dive in. We're going to hit 3 key points. Number 1, what exactly are the changes? Just general high level. Secondly, why would you pick a character retention project over just tearing it down and building something new? And thirdly, if you do decide you want to do a project like this, what additional modifications do you actually need to make on the site? So let's start with number 1. So Nick, why don't you go through the general overview of just the changes?
Okay. So the one big change, floor space ratio, otherwise it's almost all the same, is just like with single family. There's 10% less square footage now for single family character retention projects. So that means 0.65 or 65% FSR for single family. If you have 2 or more units in your character retention project, or what's called a multiple conversion dwelling character retention project, then you get 75%. And if you add an infill house, you get another 10%, so up to 85%. And just as a quick note, if you did single family with an infill house at the back, you still get the 85%. So you could do a single family character retention, and because it counts as 2 or more units. So that's where you get the 85%.
Perfect, that's a lot, 85%.
It's great.
Moving on to the next point. So tell us, let's talk about why, if you had, let's say, a character home, what would motivate you to, besides wanting to retain the character, for personal reasons, from a bylaw standpoint, what would motivate you to do that type of project versus tearing it down and building something new?
That's a very good question. So there's a couple of different things there. So character retention can have more units, saleable units, than single family or duplex can have. Single family gets 1 saleable unit, duplexes get 2 saleable units. Character retention, depending on the size of your lot, can have up to 6 saleable units. So the average 4,026 square foot lot, 33 by 122, it's the standard in Vancouver, that's allowed 3 saleable units. If it's a little bit bigger, you can actually get to 4 saleable units on it. And then if you go up to about 40 feet, you're allowed to have 4 or 5 saleable. And then if you can get up to 50 feet or more, if I remember correctly, then it's 6 saleable units. It's a big deal. The other nice thing is you get all of that bonus square footage, whereas a single family, you can only, you can't have a saleable laneway house on a single family, but B, you can have a large main house for your character retention and then a large infill house at the back, and you can sell it, and it's fantastic. So there's those aspects. There's also a few other bonus square footage ways that you can get a little extra here and a little extra there.
Yeah, the little sneaky tricks.
Sneaky tricks. I've used a lot of them over the years. But you can get an awesome, great house without paying an incentive bonus to the city. So there's where the new multiplex rules that we mentioned in another series of ours, please feel free to watch it. With that, if you want the extra square footage, you have to pay the city for the bonus square footage.
Yeah.
Whereas with the character retention, you have to follow guidelines, and it's very specific character guidelines, which they are simplifying a little bit in the new rules, but it's still basically character retention guidelines. But those guidelines, so long as you're following them, you don't have to pay the city that fee.
Yeah.
And you don't have to dedicate a unit. You don't have to do any of those other options.
And that's a great option, yeah. And like I mean, I think today, just even in filming this series, we've talked about so many different options. I know it can be super confusing. So just putting it out there for any of you out there who want to know exactly what this means for your specific address/project, feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help. Like we said before, we'll link it down below.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to you about your project.
Yes, Nick is very passionate about the character retention. So yeah, he's your guy. Lastly, the things that are actually needed, let's just say if we did decide to do a character retention project, there are certain things that you actually need to do to your actual site, not so much your building, but the actual site that should be considered. Yeah. Let's talk about PMTs first.
Yep. So if you have 3 or more units under the new rules, you will be required to have a pad-mounted transformer. That's to provide more than 400 amp service to all your units. Though those are those big metal boxes that you've seen on your yards before. They have a 3-foot concrete pad around them.
They're not very nice looking, but
no, they're not very
required
nice.
if you want electricity.
Yeah, if you want enough electricity. And everybody wants to have enough electricity. I mean, we're all putting in heat pumps. We're putting in all these amazing things in our house. They require more electrical. So that's the first thing. It will have to go at the back of your property. It does take up a parking space worth of room, and it has to be right up against the lane so that they can get a crane in easily to get at it. Then the second thing is stormwater detention. That's a new thing, and that's because with the new rules, they're allowing us to cover more of the lots. Stormwater, when it comes in, comes down through your gutters and spreads out. Normally it would be absorbed by your grass and everything else, but if we're covering more of the lots, there's less grass, less gravel or anything else to absorb it. So there's a chance that it'll flood your neighbors. Instead, they're now requiring a stormwater detention tank that your gutters come down, go to a pipe, the pipe goes to the tank stores up everything, and then it puts it back out into the soil gradually through pipes underground. If it fills up enough that it's going to end up overflowing, then the overflow goes into the city system. But it's to keep the grass moist and everything else without flooding your neighbors.
Yeah, which is great that that's even being considered.
Yeah, and that's about it. Though, like in the new regulations, that's effectively what's going to happen with character retention, and it's great overall. All
right, so there you have it. An overview of character retention and how it is affected by the new zoning bylaws coming out fall 2023. We've gone through a lot of technical information, so don't forget to download our free resources below that give an overview of this.
Yeah, or feel free to use the link on our website to come and ask us for an actual consultation. We're happy to give you a free consultation and talk about your project.
I'm Kathy Yuen.
I'm Nicholas Petrie.
And on behalf of our team at Phase 1 Design, thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.